Hey, g'day, Trey. Sam here from Trade to Prosper to give you another live update on Bitcoin. Okay, we've talked about it for a while in my group or in our community. We talked about this structure and I favored for the break to the upside. And based on, if I go into the small time frame, it's based on this structure, so like a triangle structure. And I'm thinking point E. We have a whole bunch of moving averages that are acting as support. If I was to remove that for a sec, let's just do this for a sec. Move the removing averages, and let's see what we got here. The structure here as well, and that one there. Let's just look at this particular area. If we add in our Bollinger Band, there was a squeeze. You can see how this squeeze is coming. This is the 4 hour. And you can see how there was a bullish divergence moving on the 4 hour. It's pointing upwards, not downwards, and this is curving up as we speak. Now, what I said in the group was that this medium range on the Bollinger Band is acting as support, and we got that movement to the upside. Can it sustain it? Yes, probably can. And so what we look at now is this little mini structure. And the target for this mini structure, if we were to be conservative and measure that, the measured move, if you do that, it comes into these moving averages. So if I was to look at the daily now, and I'll just remove this for a sec, you can see those moving averages acting as that could be the target and act as resistance. Now, if we were to add another moving average, you can see based on the daily, this orange one, I believe is a 50 moving average. Let's just get rid of that for a sec. Yep. So that's a 50 moving average on the daily. Is been acting as resistance all the way through until we break that. Besides this supposedly trend line, it's a 50 moving average that I'm interested in. So if we break above it, then I think we have a better chance to actually play the structure's measure target, which is up here. However, we have this flat range. Now, if we were to go to the upside, this will be likely resistance, might get a wick, and this might just come back down again. Okay, so it just really depends what kind of movement it does. If it's a quick movement, but I do see this as resistance. Now, let's add a Fibonacci to it, to this little mini structure, and sure enough, it's a 618 as well. So we've got moving averages and the 618. This is going to be a strong resistance and 20,700. All right. However, this is the issue I have at the moment. We also have this long-term trend line. So if it breaks above this, this could actually accelerate it, and we can play this out. And the measured moves for this is that's one of the targets there, and the other target is there, around here. And then we've got this moving average, which was probably play resistance. So we have a number of head levels, and it's probably worth, for the short term, playing this breakout. The breakout could be a fake out. Yeah, it's easily to come back down, and you might just, depending how it gets the rejection. If it's a strong rejection, we are likely to come back down much more, and it could be nasty. To tell the truth. Now, if we look at, so what we need to look at is not this one. Where are we? FTX. We might get Binance for it's probably better. So on Binance, let's look at this. We have a fair bit of resistance. As you can see, open interest. We are getting this bounce from the open interest formation. Up here is going to be likely to be resistance as well. So it's still got a bit more to go, open interest, but again, this top level could be resistance based on this. So if open interest goes above it, where is the drawing pattern? There we go. If this gets a bearish divergence and prices going up, then this is likely to be a fake out and then come back down. So we're gonna use this as well. We have a number of tools on our hand where we're looking at open interest and looking for big orders coming to knock it back down. So it's not going to be an easy trade, but at the moment everything is to the upside, and you can see the numbers here. Okay, so it looks like there's a bit of resistance here at the moment, 71 million. But again, momentum to the upside, but we are at the resistance point, and sometimes these things don't actually quite work. It's the way you interpret it, really. But you can see a lot of orders for selling down. There's not much orders up here underneath to push it up. There's more resistance if you look at this intensity on the heat map. So it's not going to be, the 50 moving average is going to be a strong resistance based on that. So currently it's not there yet, and we're getting a small rejection. So let's look at the 4-hour again. It's okay. So like I said, this area could be a resistance. If it breaks above it on the daily, the 50 moving average, like I said, that is going to be the next clue. If we break above it, so let's put a straight line there, right there where the 50 moving average is. Just make it a bit different color, and then let's look at the 1-hour chart and see what that looks like. Okay, that's the level. So 50 moving average is right there at 19,600. If we can break above, it's basically a break above this. If we get a candle close on the at least 1 hour and then the 4-hour, then we're going to be confident that this could keep going. And I would say that is the signal. Now we're going to see a bit of consolidation in this pocket before it makes a decision. So I'm going to leave it at that, guys. In the meanwhile, Ethereum is in a similar bucket or similar scenario, and this is what I have. In the short term, we have a different type of breakout. So let's do this. This is where support was. Yep. This level of support, and this thick line here is our breakout trade. So it's going to go for this top level. So we're going to have resistance as well along here. If we break above this flat level, if we break above this next level up here is going to be resistance because it's confluent with this line here. Yep. So that level could be resistance as if this breaks up to the upside. So and then we've got the major trend line similar to Bitcoin, and so we might be able to get to that target of 14,450 or so, and then we'll see how we go from there. So looking for a breakout trade with number of resistance levels, and it's pretty difficult. But what I'm thinking is it's this type of channel sideways. If we see breakout, if this is a reversal and it can continue on, then we might see we might see a bullish move, and then we'll come back down. So I don't think it's going to get that high. I think this level is probably likely to, and this trend line could be a bit of a fake out as well before it comes back down. So be careful with Ethereum. But I've entered in this spot. I'm averaging in. A risk to reward ratio is much better. And when we look at the likes of the DXY, we are having a bearish candle. So I'm looking for maybe support here. From another perspective, the 10 and 20 moving average, we are having a bearish MACD crossing up on the 3-day. So it's still bearish, and it's a bearish day for this. So the DXY is dropping. And if we are ever to break, so I think we'll find a lot of support on the DXY at this level or sideways, and then we might see something move. So we might see a bit of a channel like this, these ones here, yeah. So the Dixie might do that before we make a move to the upside. I did actually talk about that in the in the community, and so I'm looking for that. Otherwise, and we might have another break and just go for this top of this channel before we come back down again, and that aligns with the likes of SP 500. So SP 500 is moving up, and I think if it breaks this level, and I think this is a nice reversal structure, to tell the truth, measured move is probably to that level there for the SP 500, and then we'll see what happens. But I do think the SP 500 is going to go there, and we know it's correlate to it. However, I am, and the RSI is pretty much showing it as well. I think this might be the case, or we can do that as well. So it's not going to be an easy trade, but at the moment, short term, it's bullish. I think the likes of the US elections and the November, what do they call it, midterms. They want to see some bullishness, and this might be the case. Here we have the NASDAQ coming to this is a nice reversal structure. It might do that before we hit the top and then back down again. If we ever break above this, that's where we're going to go bullish a bit more, and maybe might do that. So this looks like a W formation. In generally, would be bullish if we break this trend line. Then we'll look at levels are there. So I think November, December could be bullish, and then early next year could be a bit bearish or fair bit, much more, and then back down again when the the real results coming out. But those are my thoughts at the moment. I'll leave it at that. For those that are interested, these are the coins I'm interested in. Not all of them, but some of them. And over time, I'm going to look at giving my perspectives on the macro as well as the local. Matic actually, if you were to jump in Matic today, I think it's a good idea. Might have missed the boat, but anyway, I'm jumping all over the place. I'll leave it at that, guys. Give me a like and a share, and a subscription will be even better. I'll talk to you soon. Cheers.